I've done a few, therapy and, seeing therapists and stuff like that to, just make sure my mind's straight. I got severe, anger management, it's really bad.
145 3/4.
Very, very worried. Because we didn't know exactly what was going on. We didn't have any contact with him. We were really worried.
I don't know if this is recording, but one thing I wanna set straight. My mom wasn't a bad mom. She was young, but this is through my eyes. If she gets mad, she gets mad, but I'm not trying to diss at all. What's really important, guys, is the rotation. It should be like this. 1.
Hakeem is my nephew. He's my eldest sister's son. We grew up together. He was just a silly kid. He was a kid that, he was good at pretty much anything he did and set his mind to, except for baseball. Not baseball. He's horrible at baseball. I know he talks about his anger issues, but he didn't grow up being angry. That came later. Sometimes we think he's mean. We really do.
Mean Hakeem Dawodu! It's a long journey from the streets of Calgary to the spotlight of the UFC. For Hakeem Dawodu, it all began here.
When I was 6 years old, I already was street fighting. It looks the exact same, literally.
On these streets, battered by long, cold winters, Dawodu discovered his devastating punching power.
I used to live right in that place right there.
During a blizzard, one night, he discovered the depths of his anger.
That's like the earliest memory of me getting kicked out. I was 12. You want to kick me out, whatever. We don't need to talk. We don't ever need to talk again.
Growing up in a single-parent home, he admits to being defiant. While his mother worked long hours, barely making ends meet, he was left alone. She declined to be interviewed for this story.
And I'm walking down 14th Street with no shoes on, and I kind of felt rock bottom. From the age 14 to 17, I wasn't seeing my mom. I was doing my own thing. Like I grew up really, really quickly, you know what I mean? I learned how to survive on my own. I learned how to, deal drugs, make money. I'd have the odd job here and there. And I was also addicted to drugs myself.
When you dream, you have aspirations about the future. But if you don't know where you're gonna sleep tonight, you don't dream. You lose the ability to dream. You survive.
I just think of standing out in the cold winter, trying to make a buck. And then when I got too cold, I'd run over to the mall and warm up for a bit.
Hakeem couch-surfed in exchange for drugs. He briefly stayed at Avenue 15, an emergency shelter. By definition, he was homeless.
The fact of the matter, homelessness doesn't actually impact us all the same. Visible minorities show up in the homeless population at 47%, whereas there's 33% of Canadians who would say they're a visible minority. Systemic racism has a real hand in shaping somebody's future.
The amount of racism I dealt with was a lot. I got arrested at, Anderson Station, and I called a cop racist. And then he just started choking me and said, "No, you're racist." I had handcuffs on and I couldn't defend myself. And I'm pissed off.
To support his drug addiction, Hakeem resorted to armed robberies. At 16, after multiple arrests, he hit rock bottom in the Young Offender Center while serving a 6-month sentence.
What made me change was being in there, you're detoxing. There's no drugs.
Upon his release at 17, he was clean and back home with his mom, but lost. Refusing to take anger management classes, he risked being incarcerated again.
I was on probation, and my probation officer let me write off martial arts as anger management so I could get off probation.
When he came in, we just wanted to kind of temper his attitude, temper his temper a little bit to be, I know that sounds funny. It's not learning how to beat somebody up, but it's actually learning how to beat up your own ego.
One thing I'll never forget is when I came here, it was like immediately everybody was like, damn, you got skill, damn, you're a natural. And you know, hearing I'm good at something was just so positive and so moving for me. I was like, damn, I want to come back.
We tried to focus them on achievement, things that they never thought they could do.
Anger tends to be associated negatively. And, you know, I find that even as a therapist, people use anger in different ways. Rather than have it dictate his entire life, he has used his anger to do positive things. How dedicated he is, how committed he is.
He had a huge energy release. Whatever pain and hurt that he was dealing with, he was able to throw that into a punching bag and somebody's face.
The thing with Hakeem is we pretty much had to kick him out of the gym when it was time to close.
Only 3 months after first walking into the gym, me and Hakeem had his first fight. It's been 11 years. He hasn't stopped. Winning world title after world title, Hakeem reached the pinnacle, signing with the UFC. He's learned to dream again.
I'd be a kid, you know, no money, ashy, you know, broke. But like when I looked in the mirror, I'd see this buff, black guy, gold all over him, and famous.
Hakeem's moment of transformation is actually a story of aspiration that, yeah, we can reshape things.
5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Hakeem Dawodu.
It was really beautiful. That's why I'm crying.
I'm here where I am today, you know, because of either luck or God has a plan for me. That old lifestyle, that's gone for me. I don't even think about that no more. I'm going to be the new champ.
This kid's really explosive, very fast.
Some of the best role models are people who've had a difficult time and have turned their lives around.
My sister, she's very proud of him. Very.
I think Hakeem is an ideal role model. He has that lived experience so he can say, hey, I went through this. These are some of the things I did to work through it. And it positions him well to really encourage these young boys and girls so that they can move through life as well.
I never want to go back here. I don't ever want to do drugs again. And I hope my story can, you know, help anybody that's kind of going through the same thing I went to. And, you know, lift their spirit up and show them, you know, no matter what kind of situation you're in, there's always a positive way you can get out.